So we all know that modern AI is really good for developer productivity. It helps us streamline our workflows and write better code faster. So let's take a look at the new Telerik AI coding assistant. If you are building a modern web app with Blazor and Telerik UI for Blazor, we want to help you out. We have built a new GitHub Copilot extension called @Telerik Blazor. Now, GitHub Copilot is pretty amazing. But behind the scenes, GitHub Copilot uses AI models like GPT-4s or Gemini or Claude, and all AI models, while they're amazing, have certain limitations. Their knowledge is sometimes time-stamped, and they only have access to what is out in the open. We can bring a lot more context. We can bring all of our documentation, all of the latest APIs. So when we generate code, you have that much more confidence as a developer. Let's take a look at this. So I have the GitHub Copilot chat window open, and I'm right now in ask mode, and I'm using a GPT model. So let's fire up a question here that relates to Telerik UI for Blazor. I'm going to paste from my clipboard. Let's try to get some help for Telerik Blazor AI prompt component. And I'm trying to get to a little bit of an advanced level here. So I'm asking for a certain view template that will help me override the default rendering. So this is GitHub Copilot getting back to us, and it looks pretty good. Like it probably went and looked at some documents and came back with a response, and there's some code. Now, let's also try the same prompt with our Telerik Blazor extension. So here, I am firing off a query directly to that GitHub Copilot extension. And it's going to spin through a slightly different cycle because it has vector databases and other things behind the scenes where it can get to more of the docs and more of the latest updates that we have pushed out on the product. And as with any AI, it's the 80-20 rule. It's easy to get 80% things correct, and it's hard. Like, it's not an exact science. You might see hallucinations, but it's easy to get 80% correct. It's the last 20% that makes a difference between how correct are you. So here is our Telerik Blazor extension responding, and now it has a true AI prompt view, and it has methods and properties and events that give you much more detailed contextual intelligence that you're looking for. And if you have a file open, go ahead and give access to it. It's going to try reading your source code and be that much good at what it's coming up with. All right, let's try another example here. I'm going to directly ask GitHub Copilot things about our Telerik Blazor grid, which again, it's one of the most commonly used UI components that you might have in your app. Great for enterprise, business apps. Also great for showing lots and lots of data with lots and lots of features in your grid. So it comes back and it looks pretty good. Again, this is GitHub Copilot saying, here's a Telerik grid. Here are some grids, columns, and a few things in there, and it's giving me a person class and how to display that person class, and it's doing some data binding, so it is pretty good. Now let's turn around and ask the same question to our Telerik Blazor Copilot extension. And again, we are trying to extend and augment Copilot's capabilities with grounded responses. It's all about that grounding. It's all about the value that we are bringing. So at this point, it's again spinning through its wheels and trying to figure out how exactly it can give us those multi-column headers and virtualized columns, which are again, very specific things that we asked for. And here you're going to get, you get a model with some person names and addresses, but look at the grid columns here. Look at the virtualization and, the column scroller in here. So again, it's customized to give you exactly what you want with that virtualization, with those very key, specific, minute details that you're looking for in the responses when you are talking to AI. Let's try one last example here. So I'm going to ask Copilot about the new Telerik Blazor Doc Manager. Now, here's where you kind of see where some of the limitations are. It is pretty good in the response, and it's giving me a lot of information. I didn't ask for code per se. I just said, just tell me more. And it said, here's the doc manager, here are some APIs. And this is actually very, very on point in terms of the document types and the pane types. Now let's go ahead and ask Telerik Blazor the same question. Now, the only difference here you'll notice is we added some new APIs to this doc manager in this very latest release that we have had, and that went in like a couple of days before I'm recording this. So some of the newer things that are in there are just not things that any of the open, AI models like GPTs or Geminis, they have not had a chance to grok through this. This is very, very new. So these are, some of the benefits that you get when you try to extend GitHub Copilot. And that's what we have done for you. With at Telerik Blazor, you have a customized GitHub Copilot extension that works everywhere GitHub Copilot works. So code spaces, Visual Studio Code, Writer, everywhere. And what you get with it is those deep contextual intelligence, so you have more confidence as a developer in the code that AI is giving you. Let's all be productive and minimize hallucinations and write some solid code and go change the world. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.